crazy. I never used one of these before. Going up like that next to the car. Pretty neat. And I'm over here. I like this store. I'm happy I gave it a try. Late success. I completed a delivery. And I said, let me give it a go. And I'm learning a new format. Another store. I do it again. It's bringing me closer to the next scheduled pickup. Hey, the checkout area. You come down the aisle, and if you have a full cart, you have to lay out most of the products on the shelf so they can easily see it. The staff is not allowed to touch the products that you're shopping for. I didn't know that. The guy was great. He was training me. And, you know, I come here. This is where you check out. And they have drawers underneath. And that's where you grab your bags. Wow. Pretty neat. I like it a lot. I'll come back to this store. It's no big deal. I got up there. It was only 2 bags. But you see how they're updating their ramp. Now when I pull up, you know, they're making new handicap spots, and this building was empty for a while. Now it's going to be, you know, medical facility again. And I didn't think much of it. I went up the steps. It was no big deal. It was only 2 bags. So, you know, I just did it slowly and carefully. Now that video was from yesterday, showing the office or the medical building that they're now using again, utilizing again. And it was a scheduled delivery. I was really happy I got it. It was a local pickup, local drop-off. Drop-off is 1 town away from where I live. And like I say in the video, I didn't mind walking up the steps. You know, it was my first time there. I wasn't sure what to expect. I did see a ramp to the basement, but I did assume that that's just for regular deliveries, not for food delivery. I had to learn the building. I get up and I place the food back on the cart because I'm thinking I'm going to, you know, pull the cart through the office, which usually you do. This woman comes up to the door, opens the door. You know, she was nice. But at first, she was like, is this food? You're delivering food? I said, yes. Excuse me. And I'm saving time, and I'll explain in a moment. So, and I just have a head cold. So she goes, I wish you had called me. I'm like, what? She goes, I would have told you to go down the ramp down there. That's where our lunchroom is. And I said, well, you know, it's my first time here. I didn't know what to expect. And then she continues to repeat herself and talk the same talk. I was like, oh, well, do you have an elevator? She goes, no, that's why I would have told you to use the ramp. I wish you had called me. Now, I had to, you know, I was respectful, nice, as per usual. Going down the steps was no big deal because it was only 2 boxes. It wasn't overly heavy. This was, everything in it was new. They're using the building again. That's been closed down for a while. And she grabbed a bag. But it did not say that in the notes. And she kept repeating herself. I mean, at least 5 times. You know, I wish you would have called. I would have said this and I would have said that. And I kept saying, well, next time I know. Next time I know, it's my first time here. So when I got back to the car, I said, did I not review the notes properly? I look at the notes. It says nothing about calling upon arrival, use the ramp to go downstairs, and I didn't want to get into that with her. Let her worry about it. Let other drivers figure it out. Now, I know that's what I have to do. So that was from yesterday. No, that's just the shit we deal with all the time. You should have done this, and you should have done that. And they get, like, everything's your fault. Here's another thing. After I did that, I only completed a handful of Grubhubs because I had to go home because my head's clogged. But my body's fine, but my head's clogged. And I don't want this to prevent me from moving forward because then I'll never do the video. I completed a couple of Grubhubs. Now, I picked up 2 from Panera Bread, 2 sealed bags They were very local. It was like 2.5 miles away, both drop-offs right there. And the woman comes outside, the second delivery, the second drop-off. It was a double pickup. And she goes, I hope there's a straw in there. And I said, yep, there is. I came back to my car and I drove away. I have no idea if there's a straw in that. None. I am repeating things that us gig worker YouTube creators have spoken about so many times, especially when we first started. That was a topic all the time. You know, is everything in the bag? Is everything in the bag? Nothing changes. How do I know? We are just delivery people. I picked up a bag that was sealed. Your guess is as good as mine. You hear me, gig workers. How the hell am I supposed to know? So now it's today. And I completed a scheduled delivery earlier. And I was near the Port Washington area. The reason why I took it, it's because I'm in Call Place right now, waiting to pick up a scheduled delivery. I'm a little early, so I ate lunch. I don't want to get too off track. I was in Port Washington. It was only a $30 payout. And I want to learn the area a little bit, because sometimes I am going to be over there at least once a week. Well, I turned on Shipt. And I waited. That lousy 5 minutes I waited made a $5 difference in the payout. It was 15 and change at a local Target in Lake Success. Lake Success. I said, well, I need to learn this area. I am over here once a week now, and you know, I don't mind if I'm there. I'll complete a few if it's local deliveries. Sure, learning curve, learning curve, learning curve. So in the beginning of the video, I show how you put the cart on its own, not elevator, escalator, and you jump on the regular escalator next to it. I really like the setup a lot. I liked how the food was downstairs and everything was condensed in one little area. It was all food. It was peanut butter, jelly, loaves of bread, a couple of bags of chips, Starbucks coffees, a gallon of milk, butter, cream cheese, all the good stuff. And that was it. Everything was downstairs. I really like that. Lake Success gets a lot of orders. So now I know when I'm in that area, you know, once a week I'll squeeze in a couple of offers if they're there. I would like to also learn about the Port Washington. Maybe that was the Port Washington area. Now I have to learn about the regions. Because in my area where I live, I learned that when I see Amityville, sometimes it's like, it's Massapequa on Merrick Road. I'm in Massapequa all the time. You know, more often than Lake Success. And I'm learning that Levittown is a part of Merrick. Well, Merrick's one town away from where I live. And I like that a lot. I like shopping at the local Stop and Shop. You know, even though you think it's more far away, a town closer to you might be in that region. So I'm noticing that happens a lot. That's how it works. So that worked out well. And I got to learn the format of a new store because they have levels. They had 3 floors. The food and everything was downstairs, like that kind of stuff, and kitchen supplies. And then clothing, and I don't know what was on the 3rd floor, but I saw clothing when I walked on the 2nd floor. It was all like clothes and stuff, and the registers. And then I learned how their process works. And Shipt sends out notifications all the time. How each Target store works differently. And that's a fact. They all work differently. So now I know. Go to the big shelf. Lay everything out. The guy said if you have a full cart, you got to lay most of the stuff out. We can't touch the stuff. We're not allowed to touch what you're buying for the customer. Never knew that. And I said, oh, thank you very much. Then he said, underneath, we have drawers. That's where we keep the bags. That's how the process works when you shop here next time working Shipt. The one in Freeport, they like you to go to the cashier, but that's an express Target. Then the one in Levittown, they have their own area in front of the customer service, and they come running to you. You don't wait. Shipt shoppers don't wait. If you wait 2 minutes, that's a long time. That means they're really busy. So I really like that a lot. Did I go to any other ones? Well, right now, those 3 pop of my head. So that worked out well. I learned a new format of a store, a new area a little bit. The drop-off was in New Hyde Park. Then I grabbed a slice of pizza that the pepperoni was cooked on it, that I actually tasted it. I sound worse than I am. And I always have bad sinuses and stuff, but I haven't had a really bad head cold in a long time. My immune system worked. A lot of tissues, a lot of chicken broth, but I felt like a slice of pizza today, chicken broth tonight. So you get it. Now I have to wait. Now I was blowing time and I got a slice of pizza and I regrouped and I cleaned out my phone and I said work on the video. Now I'm going to go pick up a 49 and change order, scheduled delivery. This is how it stops you in the middle. You got to plan your day. Do other things you would do anyway. So I'm really grateful that I received that one Target shop and I paid 15 and change, and most Shipt customers tip later on. So we'll see how that goes. So let's see how the rest of the day goes. I want to stay out and shop. You know, I'm relieved because I got my taxes done and I learned a lot, and I'll be uploading videos about that. So much went on with the apps and everything. And what else? Oh, Shipt sent out the notification. Easter Sunday. We should be really busy. I'm hoping we'll be busy with shop and delivers tomorrow and Saturday. I prefer to shop. Absolutely. Rain or shine. I'll do it. This is a mall drop-off to Bloomingdale's. Every time I wait for a spot, I'm here 5-10 minutes. And I'm going to ask, excuse me, are you leaving?
I am.
Awesome. Thank you. And I waited patiently, but then nobody's moving. They're looking at their phones. I can't get mad. They're not ready to leave yet. But this lady is leaving. I was waiting for one up there, but they never drove away. A lot of people look like they're about to back up and leave, and they're not. So this is a hassle. It does say go to the second floor, fragrance. I need to be near the elevator or be on the second floor. I could have done that too, but she said she was leaving. I'll do that because I have to get on the elevator to go across the walk path that goes across the parking lot. You know, it's a mall. It's harder. Absolutely. Much harder. But she's leaving. This one was fast. Thank God. It was challenging. Good thing I got a close spot to the building. They saw me walking up, no question. Security's all over here. I walked where I was told to walk to in the app, and I showed the person. When I walked in, they're like, can we help you? These two women were so nice. And then, you know, they have their, I guess, little microphones on, little walkie-talkies. They were told to, they saw me, they were walking up to me, how can we help you? Because I'm walking in with a cart and bags that they can't see what's in the bags. And I told them why I was there. I showed them the app because the woman is now, I tell her what I'm reading on the app. And as she's speaking, I just opened it up and I went like this as she was reading it while she was talking. She was like, well, no, that, you know, it says, it's telling her to go to the second floor, and the fragrances are not on the second floor. They are on the main level. And that's not where she's going. You have to send someone up here. And they were very helpful, super nice. You know, they made it clear that this woman is following instructions, directions. And we're telling her where to go wrong, because we had to go on the bottom level, which is like a lunchroom, a nice lunchroom / conference room. They have a big screen. They're giving training for new fragrances. So they already had food there, like bagels and salads and, you know, tuna salad, butter, stuff like that. And now it's the afternoon, mid-afternoon, and they got some Anthony Cole's pizza. They got 2468 and 2 bags of cookies and 3 bags of sodas, regular cans. So they knew, who's this chick walking up to our store, just strolling on in with bags. They can't see what's in it. And once they realized, oh, she's here for a food delivery, you know, and she was told to go to the wrong area. But no big deal, because they assisted me all the way, because I needed assistance, because I don't really shop at this store. I don't know where the lunchroom is, where they want the conference room is. So that's that. This is challenging. I usually pick up at the mall. I usually don't deliver to the mall. I do it again because now I know what to expect. And again, the notes were right. The notes are rarely right. They're rarely correct. Typical of Spark. Busy time of year. Sending out the notifications that their app is down. They had technical issues. Then again, technical issues. And then it was resolved about 2 hours ago. And I accepted one. It was I think $27.95. My time is prime time. I could have taken more. I just wanted to zip home from Westbury, no traffic. You know, it's night now. I cruised right home. And I could have completed they had many offers available at the Levittown Target with the Shipt. Just wasn't up to it. And all of a sudden, Spark was, don't you want more? Don't you want more? No, I was really grateful. I hung in there for those last two. My delivery friend, Rob, we text each other like every other day. And he just reached out. And when I answered him back, I said, I won't be out tonight. I sucked it up. And I had a decent day. And considering I was all over the island, for me, when you're shopping and dropping off, you drive a lot less miles. It's nice not being in your car all day. And I did have 2 scheduled deliveries that for like 45 minutes in the middle of the day, I had to hang in there, So, really an hour. But I did get that one shipped, and I learned about a new store. Right now is prime time in Levittown. If you're willing to stay out at night, Spark and Shipt with the Levittown Target, they want you out there always between 8, like the Target don't close until 11. So between 8 and 10, 90% of the time they have offers. But it's how many people are really out at night? Not many. If I wanted to do 2 more, I could have, but I'm done. So it was worth it. And tomorrow I have no scheduled deliveries. I plan on just completing a couple of shops and doing some stuff for myself. And we'll see if I get a scheduled delivery for Saturday. People celebrate the holidays, different days. And I even put my availability on for Sunday. Because last Easter, I completed 1 scheduled delivery, and it was worth it. And then I enjoyed the day off. So I did make myself available for that. So until the next video clip, have a good one. And if you celebrate Easter, have a good Easter. Bye for now.